Boys and girls, this is Mrs. Shubitz.
Hi. Wow, so good to see all of you.
We're on YouTube.
There's a lot of you.
There's a lot. We have about 90 kids in here right now.
Okay, great.
And we will let you go ahead and get started. I told them a little bit about what the Slice of Life Challenge is, but we'll let you kind of get started, and then maybe they can ask a few questions.
Okay, great.
Okay.
So I used to teach 4th grade in Rhode Island, and I had a class of students who liked writing but didn't love writing. And there were a few kids who enjoyed writing and would write in their writer's notebooks every day, but not all of them would. And I wanted to do something that would challenge all of them to write more. So what I did is I proposed a challenge to them. This was back in 2008. And I said, we are going to write about a little piece of our day every day, and we're going to do it for the entire month of March. And I encouraged them to write about little pieces of their life, just tiny things that they would make more out of, small moments, if you will. And it all started with a student, and I got the idea from a student of mine who had written about spending his entire afternoon helping his little sister find her necklace. And they were looking under couches, they were looking in every crevice of the house to find her necklace. And after probably about an hour, it landed up being around her neck. And he was so frustrated with her. He was like, how ridiculous is it that we spent all this time looking for a piece of jewelry that was on her body? So I kind of thought, well, wouldn't it be cool if we can just make more out of these little moments of our daily lives and write about them? And that's exactly what my students did back in 2008. And it was a really successful experience, and it got them to get more interested in writing about their own lives and realizing that the stories that they had to tell about their own lives mattered and were worth writing down. That same year, my co-blogger, Ruth Ayers, and I proposed a challenge to teachers to do the exact same thing, to write about a tiny little piece of their lives every single day, to put it on a blog, and to share it with other people. And in the beginning, it was very, very small. There were probably under 20 people who did it the first year in 2008. We're on our 6th year coming up this coming March, starting on March 1st. And I anticipate that we're going to have probably about 200 teachers who are going to engage in this. And maybe more. I don't know. We'll see. So it is my hope that as a class, and I know that you're 3 classes, that you too will take on this challenge during the month of March.
Do you have to write a piece of your life at the same day, or could you write it when you were younger?
That's a great question. When I was a classroom teacher, I encouraged my students to write about little bits of their daily lives, as opposed to memory pieces from a long time ago. I think it's up to your teacher and the guidelines that he or she sets. But when I was a classroom teacher, I encouraged my students to write about their everyday lives that day. So they would go home and write about things in their writer's notebook. And I just want to go through some topic ideas with you that might relate to your question. So if you think about little pieces of your day and break it up, these are ways that I was thinking about how a student's day might go. There are things that happen at wake up time and time that you're getting ready in the morning. Sorry, I need my glasses. There are things that happen that you can write about during your ride or walk to school. Specific moments during class time. Think about things that might spark a strong emotion that happened to you during the school day. It could be something that was funny that happened in class, whether your teacher made a mistake or you made a mistake and you were able to laugh about it. That's something you can write about. Something upsetting or something that was interesting to you. Any type of thing that has a strong emotion is something you can write about from your day. Lunch and recess are always things always happen during that time. Pack up, dismissal. Think about heading home or you're after school. Maybe you have trouble with your homework and you're having homework woes and you want to write about that and share it with other people. You can write about fun that you have with your family, dinner time routines, bedtime routines. And on weekends, you can write about little things that you do with your family, or go and write about like new places that you visit together and just tell about a small moment in time in your writing. I hope that answers your question.
How long do you want us to write every day?
Do you mean in terms of like length or how many words?
Well, like how many minutes?
I think that you should push yourself to write for about 10 minutes a day, and just block out as many distractions as you can and sit down, whether you're blogging for your slice of life or doing it in a writer's notebook. Try and just write for 10 solid minutes a day. I think that'll give you a good start.
Are you allowed to like do research about an animal and then you write it in your writer's notebook?
You could, but that's not really slice of life writing. Slice of life writing is more about your everyday life and what happens to you. It sounds like the research that you want to do is more like a research paper that would provide information to a reader, and that kind of writing is really important. That's not exactly what slice of life writing is about. Slice of life writing is more about things that happen to you on a daily basis. So I would look at like what's happening in your life and write about that.
Are we going to be doing this on like weekends and spring break?
I don't know when your spring break is. Is it in March?
Yes.
It is.
Okay. I think that's something you should talk to your teacher about, the guidelines. But when my students did the Slice of Life Challenge, they wrote every day during the month of March, even on weekends. So it's up to your teacher how he or she wants to structure it. But when my students did it, they wrote for all 31 days of March.
Hi, what are your hopes for this project?
My hopes are that kids get more enthusiastic about writing and sharing their writing with other people. And my big hope is that that you get the chance to read other kids writing from across the country and maybe even across the world, and develop kind of like a pen pal relationship with a couple of people by leaving comments on their writing, and hopefully they'll leave comments on your writing and you'll get to know each other virtually. And who knows, maybe one day, 10 years from now, you guys will meet each other in person, and it'll be really cool because it all started as part of this challenge. But that's my big hope. My more realistic hope for right at the second is to get kids more excited about writing.
Thank you.
One of the things that I loved about doing the Slice of Life Challenge last year was connecting with other people. And now I feel like I have friends that I've never met them personally, but I still can connect with them on their blogs. And I found that happened with my students last year too. And
it's really neat. Like when I travel to conferences or I go to New York in the summer, I meet up with other teachers who are part of the Slice of Life Challenge, and we meet for lunch or coffee, and it's just a really nice way to get to know other people. So I hope that you'll try it.